What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic evening. It is about 6:30 here, and a little bit of a longer day, but ready to settle in. Had a little time to put this together the last couple days, so we are behind enemy lines like we do every Tuesday in these parts. Unfortunately, last week was insane, so we're back on track here. Ready to talk about the Eagles' Week 7 opponent, the New York Giants. So, of course, a hated rivalry here, and I cannot wait for this matchup. Eagles have had a lot of issues that we've seen worked on throughout the season. We need to continue to see that. We have broken down everything that we can about them. We will continue to do that this week. We'll talk about the top matchups later on this week, but right here, right now, we're going to get to know everything about that Eagles opponent. Of course, that being the Giants, and they got some major news, made some roster moves earlier. I'll keep you up to date with everything you need to know about the Giants, but I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in here. Not a live one, but still love to hear from you. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button, sharing, subscribing, all those things you're doing. I cannot thank you enough for the support. But let's jump right into this bad boy. Let's talk about what the Giants did this offseason, who they've added, lost, all that great stuff. But obviously a huge trade. Getting Brian Burns was massive. They also took Patrick Johnson from us, so stacking up on that edge room. But you can see they added Drew Lock, Singletary, Runyon, Van Roten on offense there. On losses there, you can see Saquon Barkley, baby, a little Paris Campbell, Matt Breida, Slayton, Tyrod Taylor, Xavier McKinney, and then an ass load of offensive line pieces. So they definitely changed up their offensive line. They're going to have to change it up again with some news I'm about to give you, but you can see that is what was going down in their offseason. And then in the draft, they had 6 total picks here, and they took Malik Neighbors with that first one. Kid is a stud. You talk about Tyler Nubin, another stud there. Drew Phillips, Theo Johnson, Tyrone Tracy, Darius Muasau, and sure, probably butchered that. But, dude, what a good draft. 5 of those guys right now making an impact. So a good draft for them. And looking good for their future, man. As much as, we bash their quarterback, they've got a good team right now, struggling at times and not getting wins. But, hey, they've got a bright future, and that's all you can ask for when you're a team like the Giants. So let's take a look at how they are doing this season so far before we take a look at what this team will look like this Sunday. Well, at least for now. And I'll keep you updated with everything. But you can see here on offense, 29th in points. That is atrocious. 20th in yards, 24th in the run, 18th there in passing, 13th, so middle of the pack, giving up sacks there, tied for 12th in interceptions, tied for 17th turnovers overall. On the defensive side of the ball, though, top 10 in points and yardage, 15th against the run, 12th against the pass, number 1 in sacks at 4.3 per game, but not getting many interceptions, last in the league there, and then tied for 17th overall with their turnovers. So this defense has been coming to play, but their offense definitely needs Neighbors healthy, needs to get things going, and, needs Daniel Jones not to suck. But you can see they are at the bottom of the NFC East here at 2-4. The Eagles 3-2, looking to continue moving up that ladder. So both teams hate each other. It's going to be a battle to the death, and I cannot wait for it. And in the NFC, we are both a little far behind here. The Commanders up at 3. We're at 9. Giants at 14. See the Cowboys there below us at 10. But look, it's still pretty early in the season. A lot will change, but we got to continue to build on the success, but also the failures that this team has seen. And this Giants team, man, is not to be slept on. So let's talk a little bit about this Giants team, and we'll take a quick gander at their coaching staff first, and then we'll go position by position. You can see Brian Daboll as their head coach, Mike Kafka, old Eagles QB there at OC, Shane Bowen, defensive coordinator, turning things around there, and then Michael Gabriel there as their special teams coordinator. Now, Daniel Jones, we talked about him a lot. I mean, he's got a 62.1 completion percentage on the year. He's got 1,300 yards, over 1,300 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, been sacked 14 times. I mean, it's not as bad as it could be, I guess, but they've got Locke and DeVito there as his backups. You cannot make Danny Dimes out here looking like a stud. So got to put this dude in the dirt. And they no longer have Saquon Barkley. So we've got Devin Singletary, who has missed the last couple of games, and Tyrone Tracy has stepped in nicely, helping my fantasy team. But Eric Gray is back there. He fumbled last week, so it really opened the door for Tracy, and he shined last week and this week. They actually elevated Dante Miller the last couple of weeks because of Singletary's injury. So we'll see if Singletary is good to go there. But again, man, Tyrone Tracy has been quite impressive here. And Singletary's got 221 yards on 56 carries, whereas Tracy has 208 and 47. So he's got a 4.4 yard average, where Singletary has a 3.9. And Singletary's got 2 touchdowns, only 1 for Tracy here. But this kid, he's got a bright future. And if, Singletary does play, I still think there's a place for Tracy to get some carries there. Dude can catch the ball as well. So got to watch out there. He's got 14 targets, 11 catches, 99 yards. So got to watch out for this kid. But obviously the draft pick that you're worried about the most, Malik Neighbors, the dude has missed last couple of games, but still leads the team with 386 receiving yards, 11 yards per catch. And he's got 3 touchdowns on the year. This kid is a stud, bona fide stud. So you hate to see that he's a giant. But look, Robinson's been stepping it up. They've got Slayton there. Hyatt really hasn't done anything. Smith, Marset, Ford Wheaton, not really used on offense. But their receivers are decent. This secondary, though, with their young pieces continuing to grow, we'll see if Slay is ready. But next man up, baby. But you see Gunnar Oslewski there on the IR. You can see practice squad, Hodgins and Kyrus Jackson. I do believe they elevated Hodgins last week. So if Neighbors is out, maybe they bring him up to help on offense. Now at tight end, the Penn State rookie Theo Johnson, he is now leading the way. Manhurts is number 2, and now Bellinger all the way down to 3rd. But they've got Jacob Johnson, the fullback / tight end there, international player before. He is there on their practice squad. So they want to use some extra help in the blocking. Maybe they bring him up. But this offensive line I want to talk about, Andrew Thomas, the news just came out before I made this. He looks like he has an injury that is going to end his season. So very unfortunate news. Hate to see that. Never want to see anybody hurt. But they're going to have to figure it out. So it sounds like it could be Ezeju who steps in, maybe at left tackle, but maybe they move Ellen Winnour to from right tackle to left tackle and then let Ezeju at right tackle. Maybe Evan Neal gets another shot. But Austin Schlottman, he's on IR. But you've got Miles, you got Jimmy Morrissey on your practice squad, so maybe they're elevating people. They're going to have to move things around, but I'll keep you up to date. Tomorrow's the initial injury report. So remember, each Wednesday we got to wait, so I'll give you any kind of Mailata news, any Goddard news, anything on the Eagles. Darius Slay, we know is day to day, but Andrew Thomas, if it's solidified, he's out for the season, and every other injury for both teams, I will have that for you tomorrow. But you saw their offense. Let me know how you're feeling about that. Let's take a look at this defense. So you got Dexter Lawrence, still a monster, one of the most underrated players in the game. And you got Rakeem Nunez-Roches there, Davidson, Chapman, Riley. On the practice squad, you have Casey Rogers. And just a little bit ago, they actually got rid of Duke Shelley on their practice squad, the corner, and they added Armon Watts. So now, if you're a Giants fan watching this and you're like, what the? You just added him, so that is why he is down there. At edge, you've got Burns, Ojulari, Basham, and Patrick Johnson, you son of a... But look, man, Brian Burns, that was quite an addition for them. I think this dude, one of the better edge guys in the league, and obviously it was a fantastic pickup for them. He's got 3 sacks on the season, but Dexter Lawrence is leading the way with 7. So that dude is an interior guy with 7 sacks is insane. So, look, man, don't sleep on this D-line. Thibodeau's on IR, but you got Ojulari there. And look, Johnson and Basham, they'll play sparingly here. But, man, those top 2, they are some studs, and they are number 1 in the league in sacks here, this defensive line as a whole. Now, the linebackers, Bobby Okereke, a great addition for them last year. Leading the way at middle linebacker. You got McFadden there, Adams, Musau, Ty Summers on the IR. You got Deontay Johnson, Curtis Bolton on the practice squad. So a decent linebacker room there. And then at corner, you've got Deonte Banks really been stepping his game up. Cordell Flott there, Drew Phillips, Dory Jackson falling off, used sparingly. You got Nick McLeod and Trey Hawkins there. On the practice squad, Art Green and Greg Stroman. And as I just mentioned, they just released Duke Shelley. Now at safety, you let Xavier McKinney go. And I thought, McKinney and Saquon Barkley, two of the top free agents out there. I was glad we got Saquon. Would have loved to have Xavier McKinney. He's doing his thing over there in Green Bay. But these guys drafted Tyler Nubin out of Minnesota. And this kid starting right off the bat, and he's been whooping ass, leads the team in tackles. Kid is a stud. But they've got Pinnock there, Isaiah Simmons, Belton, Anthony Johnson is there. Elijah Riley is on the IR, former Eagle. Practice squad, though, they've got Raheem Lane and Javarius Owens there. Then the specialists, right now, Graham Gano is on IR. So they have Greg Joseph as their kicker. Jamie Glenn is their punter, but they brought Matt Hack in. Glenn is banged up right now, so we'll see on that injury report tomorrow what's going on there. Casey Kreider is their long snapper. Eric Gray, kick returner. Amir Smith-Marset, the punt returner. But you could see, and then their international player program, Jude McAtamy, he is there on the practice squad. So that was their position-by-position breakdown. And if you're wondering what the hell you just saw, don't worry. I always give you that depth chart at the end and that list of the practice squad and injuries. So you kind of have that all as a whole on one sheet. So let's take a look at this Giants team now and those lists. And love to hear your thoughts on that defense, how you feel about them leading the league in sacks, top 10 in points and yardage. Let me know how you're feeling about this Giants team. But the practice squad, as you can see here, only 6 players on offense. Their kicker is exempt because of that international player program. So you've got yourself a plethora of defensive players here, 10 of them. So we'll see who gets elevated for this game, but I'll keep you up to date with all of that. Now, their IR, you're about to add Andrew Thomas here, as I mentioned, but Carter Coughlin off the practice squad is on IR. You got Gano, Johnson, Ozlowski, Riley, Schlottman, and Thibodeau there. Now, you will not see any of those guys on the depth chart, so you see them there. Now, on to this depth chart, and you can see the key down there, and I will get the injuries in as we go tomorrow. Keep you up to date, as always, throughout the week. But, look, man, I mentioned with Tracy stepping in for Singletary, you can see, adding Singletary, they added Runyon, Van Roten, Ellimanor. So we've got 3 new linemen. And as I mentioned, Ellimanor might go to left tackle. Ezeju might go there. Neal might start at right tackle. A lot of things for them to think about here. But a big loss for them there. You can see 2 of their rookies starting, Neighbors and Johnson. And if Tracy's starting again, well, that's 3 rookies that will be making an impact. So a good draft for them. And you can see Jake Kubas there. And look, finding diamonds in the rough, that's always a good thing. And they're definitely looking to do that after letting go of some studs there. But adding Burns was huge. Drafting Drew Phillips and Tyler Nubin in the secondary was big for them as well. So they're going to continue to try to grow with a lot of the pieces that they already have drafted. And they're a team that's definitely, 2-4, but they've got a lot of talent. And this is not one of those teams that you want to sleep on. And then you can see here the special teams that we just talked about. And, Amir Smith-Marset, the punt returner there. And then Gray as the kick returner. Gray's averaging 25 yards per return. Smith-Marset, 6.9 yards per punt return. So that is what the New York Giants look like right now. And tomorrow, again, that injury update. And then again, on Thursday, I'll update anything that changes. Any kind of moves are made, I'll let you know. Then on Friday, you'll get the game status report. So who's out, who's questionable for both teams. We'll have Fan Friday Live talking about anything on your mind. Saturday, you'll have the practice squad elevations. You'll see the updated depth chart with those elevations on there. You'll see all the, updates on injuries, anything like that throughout the entire week. And then, of course, Saturday Live, we will have the top matchups for this game. So keep tuning in. I'll keep putting out that content, but love to hear your thoughts on this, the game. Maybe you have a score prediction, player of the game, a question, whatever it is, I'm here for you. And if you guys need anything else, it doesn't have to be about the Birds. Always here for you guys as you are me, but hope you're having a great week. Until next time, I'm Jimmy Smith. This is On the Road to Victory, and you all stay safe out there because I am drifting off the sea. I wanted to say thank you for hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, and I can't even get my damn outro right. I'm telling you, I've been running on fumes, so bear with me. But anything happens, we saw, in case you missed it, Perry Nickerson did sign. That was one thing I wanted to mention. I knew I was missing something, but until next time, I'm Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!